I'm horrified as a Fijian that a child is being sold or subjected to prostitution or child pornography. I used to think it was only in those areas with huge population and very poor countries, but I believe it is also happening in Fiji today, and we need to be on guard. Honorable Speaker, the way I see it, Honorable Speaker, it has to do with poverty. Yesterday we debated the PRB annual reports, and we spoke about the availability of housing in Fiji and the general shift from the rural areas to the urban areas and leading to overcrowding. Governments made some statements yesterday that they are doing their utmost to provide housing, and there are a number of models that are in place that we question, Honorable Speaker. And it gives us a sense of urgency. Whatever model that we are trying to adopt, please do it with a sense of urgency. The Singapore model was brought here about 2 years ago, when I believe some work is happening in that area. But again, we ask the question, why is it taking so long? We need to provide housing to the people who are migrating to the cities, where they are most vulnerable to these types of practices. My grandson goes to a school, and he was saying that his friend is in a family of 15, and they live in one room. And that's the reality for some parts of Fiji. And that is the reality that contributes to what we are trying to address in this today. So I would urge everyone, the governments, help us be part of the program to really strive hard to find adequate housing for everyone. Overcrowding, to me, is really is a threat to us and encourages these types of practices. And Honorable Speaker, I'm also told that in some schools, the teachers are saying that some of these children no longer have parents. They are being cared for by their grandparents. We need to have a look at this. I would like to ask the minister responsible to try to carry out a survey, because parents must be made responsible. I think in most parts of Fiji today, you have a child, sometimes maybe out of wedlock, and you take the child to the grandparents. You'll never say no. Never say no to a grandchild. But it is something that we really need to address, Honorable Speaker. We need to have dialogue on this. I remember in Singapore at one time, Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew passed a law prohibiting couples taking their elderly parents to the old people's home, because people are just growing old, and the young family was trying to grow their families. What they did is they used to park to go take their elderly parents to the old people's home, and he said, no, you're not allowed to do this. And they passed a law in Singapore to stop them from doing that. So we may have to have dialogue on this. Too many. If it's happening in the way that I understand it, we have to put a stop to it. You have a child, you look after a child. You don't take your child and park it with the grandparents. And this is something that we need to look into, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, education. My colleague, the leader of the opposition, spoke very strongly on this today. Education, we must never cut back on education. Education will help our vulnerable escape from these types of being vulnerable to things like this. And it's no secret that SODELPA has a policy on education that only become government in 2023 will include education all the way to tertiary level, Honorable Speaker. Because we believe education is key to all this. And educated people will not allow themselves to be subjected to pornography, to sale of child and all that, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, these are a number of issues we need to address. We support this protocol, but there are some underlying problems in the country that we need to address, and I've highlighted them: the housing, the education, and a sense of to work on the morality of the country in terms of responsibilities. And that, Honorable Speaker, is my contribution to this today. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bulnoda. You have the floor.